Well, hello and welcome back to part 2 of The Path of 2. I'm your friendly neighbor Hard, Dungeon Master Peter. Today with me are my Mighty Morphin Baby Rangers. We can cut straight to the point. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, go ahead and check that out in the YouTube video. But we have our lovely announcer, Travis. Go for it.
Hey everybody! If you haven't had a chance to do it, make sure that you like and subscribe for the quest. If you're on YouTube watching this and you want to follow the Twitch page, it is twitch.tv/forthequesta. And so make sure you go and check it out. And we're also on Facebook, YouTube, under the Path of Two, For the Quest, all of those lovely things.
Perfect. Alright, so we'll get into it. So everyone will come one at a time down, getting a drink and some breakfast. Beryl won't be there in the beginning because she's taking a Beryl bath. So what do you guys want to talk about? Y'all sitting at a table, eating, drinking, having a nice dwarven breakfast, which consists of meat products, eggs, milk. Don't ask where they got the milk. And steak. That's a dwarven breakfast.
Tetsu also wasn't going to be there at first. Is he reading?
Alright, so Tetsu's not going to be there as well. So we have 3 people at the dwarven breakfast.
Oh, good morning.
Morning.
Well, that's awkward.
That's all that she says.
Okay, and then the black dragon appears and eats everyone in the tavern. Roll for initiative. Let's go into combat.
Wait, no, I'm pretty sure I saw a little halfling guy throw a knife at something.
Well, at least he told you that he was gonna throw a knife at something.
We're not gonna go back into this conversation, guys. We're not gonna go back
I
into this
had to.
conversation.
We're in a tavern, and you were. I had to.
Hey, did you see that dwarf running around?
If you wanna go there, rock lady.
And so the inside
What is it with all these short people doing stupid things?
Alright, well, you guys all do
Whatever.
college
I'm
1
not
through
there.
7. Alright, so what is Iris Core and Talbot going to discuss? Or talk about? Or share?
So I think we should talk about our next course of action.
Okay, what is our next course of action?
I don't know. I mean, from what we've already gathered, that some type of artifact was stolen after we tried to figure out whatever's going on in the mountains, and this artifact was stolen. So we can either try to help these dwarves in retrieving that artifact, or go on with what we had originally planned, either getting Iris back home, going to the mountains, or trying to find Eugene.
Question, does the artifact that was stolen have anything to do with the dragon cultists?
There's a possibility, because since they stated that it might have been Drow and the orcs, they're kind of, from what our intel had gathered, the orcs and the Drow were aligning themselves with the dragon cultists.
Okay, if that is...
Going
visit my family, probably not the best time to do that. We got other things that are more important.
Okay, so that means that we can either go to the high mountains or the mountains on high. We can go and try to rescue Eugene, or we can help the dwarves whose artifact was stolen, there may or may not be some sort of association with the dragon cultists.
I guess the question is do you think we're ready and equipped to be dealing with potential dragon cultists again? Otherwise, I would say probably the best course of action. I'd say the best course of action would probably be find Eugene first and try and get, as can you not?
Because like hazelnut.
To get our party, back up to full strength. That would be my suggestion.
Question: do you think that our group is not able to fight the dragon cultists as is?
I'm not saying. I mean, we handled ourselves pretty well the first time. But oh, okay. Pause.
Alright, guys.
Senguine!
Go ahead.
How you doing?
Yes!
Hi.
Oh my god, it's Senguine! We love you, and we miss you.
Oh yeah. Hey, I got a joke for you guys.
Oh no, God.
What do you use to cut wood?
What?
A saw, dude. Let's D&D.
You know the deal. Okay, Senguine up.
Okay, so. Oh, we're catching him up. We took a long rest. And we're trying to now decide what we're going to do.
And before that...
Back even farther than that, before Sarah came in. When we were in the tower, after we defeated all the bad guys, we made our way back out of the tower. We felt like maybe that was too easy. We decided that maybe it was too easy because we're that good. And we went outside, saw the dwarves fighting everybody. Then everybody kind of disappeared, except for the dwarves and us. And we don't know why they disappeared, but we determined it probably wasn't an illusion. Though whether they were destroyed or teleported is unknown. We then decided to follow the dwarves back to the Dwarven City, where they told us that one of their artifacts was stolen. They wouldn't tell us what artifact it was unless we agreed to help. So we decided to take a night at an inn and decide what we wanted to do next. We rested, ta-da, we wake up, we're all healed, and now we're talking. Some of us are talking, because some of us are out there.
They also, we also discovered that the orc leader and the people that we fought weren't really who they were. They were doppelgangers. So then once the dwarf chief or whoever it was heard about that, he was like, we gotta go. We were bamboozled. And then that's when we went back to the dwarven town. And that's when he said that their artifact was stolen. And they suspect that it was the drow. So it could potentially have something to do with the dragon cultists, but we don't know.
Bamboozled again.
Cool.
Bamboozled. That's where we're at now.
Dope.
Alright, so at this point we'll say everyone is at the table, so you can now fully discuss everything as a party.
I refuse.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, shit.
Going back to Talbot's question. Again, we were fairly strong, and we did pretty good for ourselves against the last dragon cultist. But it was also a heck of a lot of people, and it's never gonna hurt to have one more person on our side. So that's why I say, go get Eugene first, then maybe take on the dragon cultists.
Question: how long would it take for us to get to wherever Eugene is?
Oh, that's a me question.
Mm-hmm.
Walking, probably a month.
Good. That's how long we need for Senguine to have his magic back.
Yes.
That's if you don't know the way. You guys are in the middle of a mountain that you've never been before, so as if you pop out the right exit. If you don't, it will be longer.
But Senguine gets his magic back.
So,
Much like Stella, he'd get his groove back as well.
so logistical question: do we find that a month to a month and a half's journey to go and rescue Eugene, who would only be one person in addition to who we are now, do we consider that to be beneficial given the time constraints that we are on for the rest of Tiamat?
I mean, they can't do anything without all the masks, of which we have one. So they can't even complete their ritual without our mask.
Well, actually, from my understanding, you don't need the mask for the ritual. The masks are not a requirement.
Why the hell are we wasting so much time trying to get them?
Apparently, it was something you guys had decided that you wanted to do. And since I joined on, no one has really talked about it.
Because we were told that it was necessary for the ritual to even take place is to have all the masks.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and pull out my research. And then I go out and then I pull out my big book that I kept some notes in that specifically talks about what is needed for the ritual of Tiamat, which for the rise of Tiamat, masks never came up. So I tell you, it takes a lot of gold, sacrifices of acolytes, and a really big hole, and that is what's necessary for Tiamat to be risen. Nowhere in Talbot's research did it mention anything about masks.
Gonna think to herself, I'm gonna fucking straddle Zongus when we get back to Tolis.
Well, be that as it may, if I remember correctly, you made that research inside who I now believe to be Eugene's little time box thing. And someone who can own and perhaps create, or at the very least continue to operate such a device seems to be pretty powerful, and I would not mind having him on our team should we ever then go up against a cultist. Seems like, yes, he might be one member, but a very powerful member, which could be truly helpful. And also, regardless of how strong he is, I do believe that he means quite a bit to some of the members here in the party. Getting him back might be a priority for them.
Sure, I can understand that he may have some significance and importance to certain people here. However, I personally believe that we need to keep to the course of action and to continue to put pressure on the dragon cultists. If they are indeed the ones that are responsible for the theft of the artifact, we need to be the ones to put pressure on them. If we don't, we just give them a month to a month and a half to let them free roam and do whatever they want. And during that time, it is very possible that Tiamat could be resurrected, in which our efforts would mean nothing.
Well, according to your research, this artifact wouldn't be needed for the rise of Tiamat, correct? Large amounts of gold, sacrifice of acolytes, big hole.
Yes, that is correct.
So,
But
yes, we should find the artifact, but doesn't, regardless of whether we do it or not.
I'm not interested in the artifact. I'm interested in who stole the artifact, and if indeed they are part of the dragon cultist. That is where my interests lie. And that was the only reason why I joined you in the first place.
So forgive me if this was already spoken about and I just wasn't listening at the time. But if the dragon cult do not need the masks to prepare this ritual, then what has been stopping them from doing it? Do we have any idea of that? Like, wouldn't they have just already done it if they just had to kill some people? Because they've already killed a bunch of people.
Well, they have to kill acolytes, and they need large amounts of gold. And
so maybe they were trying to garner the masks to gain the gold, because I can't imagine they aren't incredibly valuable.
I mean, but from what we've seen, the masks come with power.
I'm sorry, was that you're breaking up?
I said the masks give them power. So these masks, we don't know exactly what they do. They do something. Each one does something different. When we took up this original quest, it was that we would have to find and destroy them. Essentially, stop the bringing of Tiamat. But now this is news to us that it's something completely different. Like, what are these masks used for? Obviously, the cultists want it, but for what reason?
Have we ever just taken one hostage and just see what they had to say?
If we just took a dragon cultist as hostage, they wouldn't care. They would say, kill them anyway, because they're just a pawn in their big scheme.
No, I mean, like, we take one of them and then we get the information out of that person.
I'm not sure we had ever come across someone of high enough rank that was alive when we were done with them. You know what I mean? Like, I think the only person we had in that rank would have been like.
Let's all keep that in mind, because right now their motivations aren't necessarily lining up. Because it doesn't seem like they would be I mean, they're a cult. They've obviously got a lot of gold, as cults generally do. And having acolytes shouldn't be an issue as well. It seems to be kind of far and widespread. And so really, they just need a big hole, it sounds like, which, there's got to be big holes places. I don't know how big of a hole they would need necessarily. But the motivations don't seem to be lining up currently. So it might be, let's just keep that in the back of our skulls, that we should probably grab a couple of them and just see what they know. Next time we encounter them.
Possible that whoever is leading this cult isn't necessarily really worried about raising Tiamat. I mean, if all these masks would offer someone certain different kinds of powers, and y'all were originally tasked to find the masks to keep them out of the cultists' hands, it seems to me maybe that the cult revolves around someone who's telling his acolytes he wants to raise.
I've solved it. Don't worry, guys. I figured it out. They need a lot of gold. Vidpick, our boy Vidpick, has a lot of gold. But what he doesn't have is as much power as he wants. So he might be paying the cultists a large sum of money to retrieve those masks for him in order to achieve the amount of gold in order to raise Tiamat, because he probably doesn't give a shit about Tiamat, but he would have a lot of gold and a lot of power. So, and judging by the dungeon master turning off his camera, I solved it.
If this was poker, you read the dungeon master perfectly.
No, I'm just I did that.
Read him.
I did that solely for the fact that it's been 8 months since that conclusion finally came up. That's why I'm laughing, that someone finally brought that one idea up.
I've solved it.
You solved it! Alright, game's over, guys. That was a whole campaign just in solving that one plot point.
But my dude, like the only two people that really know anything about Vidpick was May-I and Senguine. So the only one that introduced that basically is Senguine right now because Monsieur May-I is retired.
You know what, Senguine? I'm gonna give you 20 gold for that.
Hell yeah. Adding it to my gold.
Suddenly, I have 20 less gold.
And then Senguine finds out that gold is actually just gold-colored condoms. That's it.
Just as valuable, my man.
Somewhere in the world, May-I is just going, where's my money?
So thank you, Senguine, for finally bringing up that one very valuable point and good point. But that's all I'm going to say on the topic. You guys keep going. I love the roleplay. Keep going.
So, I've solved it. Now what do we do, guys?
I'm confused by your solution there, Sanguine. Who is Vidpick?
He's this incredibly rich, fairly creepy dude who lives in town that I remember the name of. And he hired me initially with May-I, if you remember. Did you meet May-I? No.
In passing, I saw him at the trial.
Okay. Well, he and I were conscripted by Vidpick to complete the tasks that we didn't do because he was a pretty creepy dude. Moral of the story is he's incredibly rich and really likes power. So I'm guessing he works with the dragon cultists, putting puzzle pieces together in order to gain more power, which would be these dragon masks. So we should take a lot of care with that dragon mask because Vidpick is a very shady character and also incredibly smart. And he's not just going to let us keep it.
Well, lucky for us, it's in a pocket dimension, so hopefully he can't scry on.
Fair point.
All right. Well, good to know. Well, back to our discussion at hand about the dwarves. I'm not quite sure. The dwarves are not going to let us know about this artifact unless we agree to help them. And once we agree to help them, if we find out it isn't anything to do with the cultists, they're going to look bad on us if we back out. So I guess the real question is do we want to promise ourselves to help for something just so we can see whether it has anything to do with the dragon cultists? You are muted, Talbot.
He has to push to talk.
Or what we could do is say we will consider it, but we absolutely need to know if it was the dragon cultists that were definitely a part of it. If they were, then we may be willing to help. If not, then we have no interest whatsoever. But that's only if we agree that this is the best course of action.
I could possibly, if they will allow it, try to commune with the dead.
You're breaking up real bad, yes.
I said so I could possibly, if they will allow it, commune with their dead, the ones that were essentially attacked when this item was taken.
It's a fair point. Perhaps we should see if they would let us investigate the space without promising. I mean, they don't have to tell us what it was precisely, because that's what he was really not wanting to tell us. Perhaps they just let us investigate the holding area.
I think if we ask, there's a possible chance that they might allow that.
Or we could also just show good faith and just ask them. Ask them, or as I think Core had put it, if we would have permission with their supervision to commune with the dead in order to hopefully gain valuable information that could help them in finding the artifact.
I mean, I'm more than welcome to try this option. That's why I've laid this option in front of you. But I do want everyone's opinions on the matter.
I'm in favor of asking. I mean, I don't think they will outright tell us, since From was not willing to share with us yesterday. But perhaps we speak to someone else. If there was someone, I don't know who else we would go to besides From. He's the only one that we know of, but I'm all in favor of asking. Okay.
At least if we share with them our intentions, then and to let them know that this is what we are thinking about, they may look at us as people not trying to look upon the secrets, but mainly just trying to find the answers to our own riddles. And the quicker we get out to do the things, the less time we have to spend in their dwarven city and riding on top of wagons.
That's a fair point. So maybe Iris or I should do the talking, since we are very charismatic people. Iris, would you like to take the lead on this?
Still wants to find her other party member that everyone just seemed to completely forget about.
Who?
Eugene?
Oh, we're gonna still get to him. He's already entrusted himself to me, and he knows that we will come for him. I will come for him when the time is right. But if we need to stop the cultists and find out more information about what's going on.
Also, to be fair, like almost nobody in this party knows Eugene that well.
Yeah.
Quartzshaper and Iris. No.
And Leander.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I
Leander.
said Leander.
Sorry, cut out on that part.
It's like,
Alright, so as you guys are discussing this and kind of like Senguine says, like, you know, take the lead and everything, Long just kicks open the door and goes, you're all clean. Well, hello.
Greetings.
He comes on over, grabs a seat, turns it around and sits down and goes, have we discussed things?
We have, yes.
What's the conclusion?
So we've got a conclusion that I would just like you to hear me out for a second here.
I will hear you out.
So one of our people here would love to commune with the past in order to gain a little info on what we need to accomplish and make it so we can return your relic an artifact as soon as we possibly can. We wanted to give you the consideration, because we don't want to offend you by just doing it.
Greatly appreciated. Oh, was that it?
Yeah. Yes. We're just asking your permission to commune with your dead.
If I may, what would you ask them?
Essentially, ask them what happened, causing their untimely demise.
Well, luckily, you want me to. He pulls out a little cube, which looks like has on all four sides these little holes, like little soft padding on it, and a little button on top. He hits a button on top of it, and sound comes out of all four ends, and all you hear is a melody.
Do I recognize the melody?
Oh, yes, you do, Senguine. Roll me an intel check. See if you remember.
Cool.
But during the melody, you guys can hear 6 bodies hit the floor on the beat. Boom. I'm not going to play the melody because I actually don't have it, but...
That's an 8.
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
8?
would
18.
Iris know anything?
18. Go ahead and roll me an intelligence check as well to see what type of melody it could be.
Do I not get anything out of the 18?
Oh yeah, I'm going to give it to you. I just want to see if Iris picks it so I don't have to like repeat or say different information.
You know, she's a bard. She may know of the melody.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, intelligence is just a straight skill.
Was that caught?
Hit the coins
Oh, okay.
that are in my
Sounds
thing,
like-
so it was on the edge. So that's gonna be a 16.
Okay. You'll get it. It. So I'll do the melody first because it doesn't pertain on exactly Sanguine's information. The melody is mainly used as a kind of an inspiring lullaby. Chords have been played differently in it to where some of the chords are more of a downer tone, symbolizing that you have a nice little soft melody, and then once a down note is played, a body falls. So you can assume that the person was playing the melody according to the mood and the kill. It's normally used for kind of like a nice, sweet little lullaby to kind of like help people sleep, but they took it and twisted it to more of a sweet little death tune before you die. Senguine, you have heard this before because you.
Can I guess? Can I guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Did we hear it in the church in the other realm during the life and death ritual?
No. No, you're not. Do you want to take another guess on where you heard it?
No, that was my guess.
Okay. You have heard it due to Amethyst. She has played it when you traveled with her. It was originally part of her bardic inspiration, but she changed it up because during the time travel she wanted to kind of expand her music due to meeting Metal and kind of do what he has done. So you can fairly assume this was her signature calling card, but more of that twisted killing tone.
Okay.
And he will unplay it and go, any clues?
Well, I recognize that from a former party member.
Is it that May I person you keep talking about?
No, it's worse. It was a tiefling named Amethyst who has gone, for lack of a better term, to the dark side. She works for VidPick now. And so if she was playing something out of this box, it sounds like a bastardized version of her lullaby that she used to play for bardic inspiration. So it sounds like she turned it into a killing thing, which isn't the coolest. So take with that what you will.
So if she is now effectively working for this VidPick, why was she brought out here?
I mean, your guess is kind of as good as mine on this one.
Well, you said this VidPick person was looking for power, and this was an artifact that was stolen. We could deduce probably that if this person worked for VidPick, this artifact would increase his power level to some degree. But does that
That's
mean
a
that
fair
this
point,
wasn't
yeah.
necessarily taken by the dragon cultist?
I mean, I would imagine that Amethyst would be working with the dragon cultist as kind of like VidPick's right-hand person. Maybe to help them out, because she is quite powerful.
But wasn't the conversation brought up that VidPick isn't necessarily interested in
Raising Tiamat.
in raising Tiamat? He's mainly interested in the power that he could get from this artifact, whatever it may be. Sorry, I'm still trying to formulate thoughts into my head. This turned very complicated very quickly.
Yes, I'll be out of game. I'll be right back.
Okay.
that does change things up a little bit. I'm not sure that this artifact was stolen for the dragon cultists anymore. I think probably this Vidpick person just wants it. And I'll turn to From and I'll just be like, you don't have to tell me what it is because you said yesterday you didn't want to, but like, was this artifact powerful or just historically significant?
Unfortunately, both.
I mean, but as Senguine said, he may be their benefactor, so he might be allowing giving them money in order for him to gain the power, which they both go hand in hand. Without him, the cultists will have to find another way to complete their goal.
And so by gaining this power, are we to assume immediately that this Amethyst person was working directly with the dragon cultists in order to get the artifact that they may sell to Vidpick, and in return Vidpick will give them the money that they need for the resurrection?
That is what I gathered from what Senguine has said. But also this Amethyst has been seen with the dragon cultists.
Yes, indeed. This is why we don't normally let outsiders into our mountains. Y'all cause a lot of problems. But I guess in this case, y'all had nothing to do with it.
Appreciate your vote of confidence.
I'm still iffy on y'all, but seems like you're trying to do what's good for everyone, so in my book, you're A-okay.
Much appreciated.
Not a problem.
Okay, so this brings in another question then. If indeed it was Amethyst, and you don't normally let outsiders in, how was she able to come in, possibly with a small group, in order to infiltrate and steal the artifact itself?
That is something we're still trying to figure out. Because not many people knew where we kept it, nor did anyone know what it was.
But to your point, Talbot, it has been said that they're dwarves, right?
Yes.
Dwarves are neutral, so they have a neutral standing. They don't typically take sides, so they could have potentially just walked in. If that's the case, I'm not very familiar with dwarven culture. I apologize if I offend anyone, but they are typically neutral parties. So if they came without having really no ill intent, technically ill intent, without showing it, they would have been able to walk in no problem.
Dwarves are pretty neutral, but they're pretty restrictive on who they let in because they're a neutral party. They don't want factions getting in. Is your city magically protected by any means?
I'm not going to answer that.
All right, well, if we had not been brought in with your approval, would we have found it difficult to enter from a magical standpoint?
You are a dwarf. I'm assuming someone does a dwarven city.
Yes, but not all dwarven cities are alike. I'm asking for courtesy's sake.
And for the
Say I was
I'll leave it as
say I
that.
was teleportation, and just teleported straight here.
That would be mighty difficult for anyone of that level, simply because usually when you need to teleport, you need to know where you're going. So that would assume that she would already have been here already, which is a possibility. We do have several outpost towns that outsiders could go and trade, but the only way to get into the city is with a noble's approval, invitation, or, like myself, a general's request.
In other words, it is a very strict entrance into the city, and very possibly magically protected.
Correct.
Which means that they may not... I'm going to... At this point, Talbot will will go into the back of her book where there have been some, like, torn pieces off of her page, and she'll tear another piece. She'll take out her ink pen and write something, and then she will pass it face down directly to From. And it asks one question: can anyone scry on this city or the artifact?
Written in your language, not without losing an eye. You gotta push your talk, Travis.
Is there like a little furnace, a little fire going on in the inn?
There is.
I go over to that furnace and then I dump the paper into the fire.
10-4.
So it looks like it seems Amethyst was a bard. From what Senguine has told us, does Amethyst have any trademarks of how they could enter, or any sort of trademarks as to their magic? Do they tend to go more in the realms of divination, transmutation? Are they more combat? Were they a more combat-related individual? Were they sneaky? Are they a true support? Senguine, as you know Amethyst the best. And I say
we didn't battle much with Amethyst, and when we did, she was mostly taking care of a small girl we were tasked to grab, who May I now has. The one thing I do recall is that anytime she would do magic, her eyes would turn black. That was about all I can remember. We didn't see enough of her magic, and Travis outside of character. This may be out of. That's the only thing I remember. Is that her eyes would always turn black.
Also, she has the ability to cast invisibility. Because
that's right.
You tracked her, in which she became visible.
That's right. So I say that as well. That she can be invisible.
If there are no protections against that sort of thing, then that could have been how she came in the first place. But I do not know. And I do not wish to pry upon such secret information.
As a bard, would it have been possible for her to change her appearance magically? Is that a spell that bards know, Iris?
Live, Kyle, live.
Sorry, I started.
And that's canon.
Yeah.
I love how we're having a minute of Kyle help you with this.
Now we know how bards clear the room.
I wish to live.
You've done worse to me.
All right, we're good.
Okay.
All right. So again, I'll ask Iris: is it possible? Is it within the bard's realm of possibility for you to change your appearance magically?
For me, I can change my eye color.
Well, I just meant like in general. Like, is that something bards are able to do after a fashion? That's something that you guys can learn. The ability to change one's appearance.
Depending on what college you studied in, I believe it is a possibility. I mean, again, I learned thaumaturgy, which means I can change my eye color, I can change my hair, like basic stuff, like hair color, eye color, but I can't like transform into something. But that
Iris had, or Amethyst had the same thing. Yes, she could change her colors and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not necessarily like a full transformation, but there are definitely like quick little aspects that, you know, a bard could potentially change about their appearance. And I mean, with a whole new hair color, eye color, if she had a change of clothes that was completely different, you know, she could easily kind of either choose to blend in and sneak in, but still she probably didn't change like her entire appearance.
Mostly I was wondering if it would have been possible for her to imitate someone who might have had access to the artifact.
Illusion.
I don't know how strong she was, so it's a maybe. Maybe.
I think the spell's called Disguise Self, but I don't have access to that, so I wouldn't know.
I'm pretty sure bards can do that spell. I just forget which. I don't know which college it is.
Well, it may also be just a generic spell on a bard's casting list.
Right.
The spell.
It is. It's a first level spell. It's a first level spell on the bard list. So yeah, she could.
Yep. So yeah, she definitely could have.
So mayhap that's probably how she got into possibly, if she had access to knowledge of who might know about the artifact.
Right.
Might be easy access. From how I know you said that not many people know of the artifact or what it is, but could it be deduced that certain level of people in the city would know? I mean, how high up would she have to go to imitate someone who would know?
We are currently at the moment investigating that.
I think the more that we talk about it, the more we're getting invested into whether or not we're doing it. And it seems like we want to be involved, or we're looking for a reason to be involved.
Well, I won't never discount the need to be involved. I mean, my point of going out in the world was just to make better, and something was stolen, and of course I'm going to try to investigate how to bring it back.
Well, I'm not going to keep you all in this city. If you have prior other engagements, by all means, go for it. I can keep you updated to what we find. But unfortunately, if this is going to work out, it will all be under the table, on the hush-hush, and unfortunately I won't be able to pay much. Since there is quite a bit of you, my salary does not cover the cost of 7 adventurers.
Well, I don't suppose there would have been any connection between Eugene and this vidpick person, is there? Could we knock out two birds with one stone? I mean, could we go after Eugene and have that lead to vidpick? I mean, who took Eugene after all?
Corella DeVille.
How does she link into all this? Why does she want it?
She was the one that basically was his benefactor to help go to school. Correct? Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just double checking. To help him go to school, but there was a catch. He basically engineered things for her. His specialty is transmutation, right?
Rune magic, but...
Yeah, rune magic. And throughout what we've discovered, throughout our journey, there have been signs leading to his magic. A lot of the places that we go.
I get the feeling we need to go find Eugene. I mean, he's got that time box that can take him to any point in time on his timeline. And his magic seems to be everywhere y'all seem to go. Maybe we need to go get him. He might have more insight into what's going on than we give him credit for. If we get him, we get back to his little time box thing. Possibly he could just take us where we need to go.
It's not going to be possible to take us back into time. It's not how it works. No matter what, we would be losing the time during travel to go get Eugene. There would be no reversing time to go back.
Well, I don't think you guys really have a way to track Amethyst, do you?
Well, at least we know who Amethyst works for and where to find her employer.
Peter, question.
What up, dog?
Do I still have the eye ring that you gave us during that campaign?
I do believe you do.
I have an old eye ring that Amethyst used to communicate with us on.
You son of a bitch, I totally forgot about that.
So I don't know if maybe we could look into some sort of magic divination, something or another to track her whereabouts on that.
I think if we can hold on to it and we can find Eugene could help us in tracking.
Okay, so that's two different people who have come to the conclusion that we need to go. Actually, three, I believe, because I believe Iris said something about that as well. So maybe that would be our course of action. Yes? Does anybody disagree with that?
Me.
Why?
I think that spending a month just to go travel, and that's if we know where we're going, a month and a half possibly, in order to get there, to find out about this Cruella DeVille, where they live, and how to infiltrate their home and take back Eugene, we would be wasting so much time.
That could be better spent doing what?
Well, since going after this Amethyst, who is obviously working for the Dragon Cultists directly.
Yeah, but that would be part of the Eugene thing. Can you track an eye ring? Because currently none of us know about where she is. So, I mean, unless you have some exceptional tracking ability or another idea of how we could find her, like, what are you thinking there?
I could
Do
take
any of us have the ability to scry?
that?
I believe I can.
Oh.
Give me a second. I believe I have it.
And you also know what she looks like.
Oh. I have glyph warding. No, I can't.
You can't scribe today.
Let me look. That's a good question.
I cannot scribe. I'm not that high up, but
I believe scrying is a 3rd level spell, and since you took levels in
right. That's what I'm saying. I
have
can't
it.
do it because I'm not high enough.
Oh my god. Oh, thanks. So boring. Okay, so I have Animated, Beacon of Hope, Bestow Course.
Ooh, scrying's a 5th level spell for clerics. Definitely can't do that.
Yeah, no, I can't do that.
All right.
I have
so I don't think.
warding.
So I think that perhaps scrying is a little bit beyond our capabilities. At the moment, Talbot, I don't know how we expect to track Amethyst in a secondary fashion.
And how are we supposed to track Eugene? Do any of you have maps? Do you know exactly how to get to wherever he might be?
I have a map and then she'll pull out his coin. Basically his icon, right?
Mm-hmm. Do you show everyone this icon?
Yes.
Even from?
No, I don't want to show it to him.
Okay.
Well, she'll just say, she won't pull it out. She won't pull it out. But she'll basically say that, I have something that could locate him. He left something of his, and when I hold on to this item, I'm able to basically track him on the map.
Would it be entirely possible for us to maybe hire someone to get us through the mountain to the exit that would be most beneficial to us?
I can get you there, the exit, since you were gracefully, doing an assassination attempt. We'll say it's your payment.
Dungeon Master.
Yes.
Is there a way to reverse engineer, since Senguine has this eye-ring, to try and figure out Amethyst's location through arcane means?
Yeah. There's ways. You know of ways in Ravnica. Other than that, it would have to be an artificer to do so.
Have to be what?
An artificer?
At this point, Tetsu's gonna kind of step forward and kind of clear his throat and say, "A great man once told me, regard your soldiers as your children, and they will follow you wherever you may lead. Look on them as your own beloved sons, and they will follow you and stand with you, even unto death. I believe that we should go after your missing party member. They're waiting for you."
Well, that got me all riled up. Says from.
Says from. Like a novel.
You know,
Talbot, I can see the Sorry, Iris, didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh no, I was done. I was just saying that I agree. That's what I suggested earlier.
Talbot, I can see the division of your ideals here. I know that you are very set against decimating these dragon cultists. And I can agree with that. I definitely believe that is something we need to do, but if we are not a whole party and we do not have our full power, we'll be going into this less than we could be. Two wizards are better than one. And I do believe that this particular wizard has quite a good insight into what we're dealing with. It may seem like a long time, but we can't exactly go up against without being at full power. And it's going to take at least that long for our paladin to be able to connect with his magic again.
Oh, I can get you out of this mountain in a week.
What was that?
I can get you out of the mountain within a week. That's going the safe route. Takes a week.
That's very delightful to hear. That'll move our time frame up.
It will be a bumpy ride.
Yeah, we're used to a few bumps.
Naughty core.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't have to. Well, if it makes it all the better for you, Talbot, we'll be constantly in communication.
What?
Didn't get a word of that.
The Discord cut out.
I'm gonna snap this Discord. We can be in constant communication if you want. So we'll give you as much updated information as we can. Because it seems like your party has made a decision to go save your companion, former party member, Eugene.
I guess so. Updates would be much appreciated.
No problem. He pulls out a little stone and then hands it to you, Talbot. Well,
Hand it
once
to him?
you get that Irene working and everything, go ahead and place that into Irene and it'll directly give you into my line of communication.
Yeah, I also don't want, like, yes, we want to go search for Eugene, but that is in order to also find Amethyst to also help your people in finding your relic.
Well, if she took the relic, she can't have gone too far from the mountain. So we'll go ahead and send out patrols and all that good dwarven stuff. And if she's still in the mountain, we'll find her.
Yeah, and as you said to Talbot, I would appreciate it if we were notified if any information of her whereabouts arises or if you shall need any assistance.
Do you too have an Irene?
Yeah.
Oh wow, a lot of you have these. Here you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I don't. I was gonna see if he'd give one to everybody, but I don't really. As long as two of us have, but I think we're good. Well, it looks like Moradin has given us another piece of our puzzle. Who's ready to go find out the rest of it?
Is there a shop that
Because we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful wizard of Eugene.
You don't know how long I've been waiting for someone to say that. Senguine, go ahead and get yourself another 5 gold.
Don't do it, Senguine. Hold out for divine smites.
But what were you gonna say, Kyle?
Is there a shop that the party will be able to go to, since we've kind of accumulated some wealth and some armor that we're not really gonna be using?
Yes, there are, but keep in mind, all of our armor in the city and items are meant for dwarves. So if you want us to make something, it will take a bit of time. You're more than welcome to stay in the city as long as you like. It's just, it would take time to make anything of your stature.
How about scrolls?
Depending on what scroll you kind of need.
Is there a shop that may have some?
We normally save scrolls for military use, so if you give me a list, I can go see if I can buy some for you.
Oh, I guess I meant to copy the spell into a spell book. Is there a shop?
There's not a shop for the common people. It's used for military use only. We don't like to give out our magic to our high-level magic to random people. The carriage can drop you off in a nearby town, and you can pick out your most common spells there that we can use for trade, and you might get lucky and find something of worth.
We're going shopping.
Okay. I can probably have a list to you by the end of the day. Where can I send it? Or can I just connect it through the iRing and tell you over that?
Yep, that would do as well. Or I could swing back here at the end of the day and take the list from you. Whichever one you prefer.
The iRing hasn't been quite activated yet, as someone needs to tell me how it actually activates.
Oh.
So it may be.
He pulls out a little charging stand that has 5 slots on it.
I take the iRing and I put it on the charging stand.
He waves his hand and it activates.
Woo.
Just give it. It would take at least an hour. So, I'll swing by the end of the day and come pick this up. If you all have iRings for some strange reason, you can go ahead and put it on here, charge it up, and then I'll be back.
That's an iRing station that can charge all of our iRings?
5.
5.
Core will place hers.
So we got.
already on that bed.
So we got Tetsu's, Iris, Talbot's, and Core. So there's 1 slot left.
I guess I can put mine down. Wait, does that include the thing that he gave us to keep in touch with him?
That is to put on your iRing.
Yeah, it's separate. It's like his phone number.
Cool. Sanguine, yours or mine?
Doesn't matter to me, to be completely honest.
All right, well, I will put mine down and just mention to the party that we're going to go shop and make sure that we stay in pairs, maybe. Nobody go off on their own, because we got no way of talking to them.
All right. So at this moment, From will get up and I'll see you guys during dinner. I'll come back in if you pick it up. Please do not lose it. It is my only one. I cannot get another one. Please don't lose it. But I'll be back, and if I find out any other information about my investigations, I will let you know. As always, please don't cause any trouble, be disrespectful, or, what's the word? Cause any damages. There we go. Yeah, that's the best way. Whether it's physical, mental, or any way related into the kinkiness of y'all.
Right. Point of interest is each city is different and has different points of views. Is there a particular topic we ought to avoid with this population? Something that will rile them up?
Just be respectful. Don't say anything that you wouldn't get offended about.
All right.
At this moment, from players, you guys can spend 10 to 15 minutes on screen, if you guys don't mind, if you have the books and whatnot, to look up anything you want to particularly buy. Remember, if it's armor, it will have to take a time to make, because everything in the city is custom to dwarves. So if you're not of a dwarven stature, they had to modify whatever you buy, and that will take probably a day or so. Yes.
So Tetsu's 5 foot tall. What's the height of a dwarf?
You're not built like a dwarf, though.
But I got big shoulder pads.
You don't have the gut, the thighs, or the hip power of a dwarf.
So what I'm looking for is a cloak of protection, kind of like hers.
Okay. So what you guys can do, if you guys want, look it up, send it to me on Facebook Messenger. If you are shopping right now, we'll give you guys about 10-15 minutes to do so. Go ahead and just keep it on screen so you guys can talk to each other. You guys can plan accordingly in case someone needs extra money or someone knows of a magic item that would be useful for another player, etc. So just make sure you do it on screen so we can just show our viewers. I'll be right back because I gotta go take a piss. But my camera will still be up. If you have, yeah, that'll be it. Don't break the Twitch.
Don't break the Twitch.
Or we can buy a magical item.
Well, figure out
I'm
what
assuming.
you want, and then I'll come back and say yes or no to it.
You could buy a war horse.
Not sure there's.
We can buy a
magic
goddamn
item to
elephant,
find it.
guys.
We have enough gold between us to buy an elephant?
They're 200 gold.
Oh, well, yeah, we could.
I have enough on my own to buy an elephant.
Yeah, we got 800 gold.
More elephant!
I hadn't even thought about buying magical items before. I'm probably just going to try to find some potions of healing. I don't know about you guys, but my potions collection is dwindling fast. But I can't pick up any armor.
Oh, I thought you asked for.
This one's Susan.
Oh, okay.
Minus the goats.
Well, hello, my lovely friends.
Things. How you doing, Peter?
Oh, you know, doing dandy. Excited for my last year at Disney, so. All that fun stuff. So Tetsu is looking for a cloak of protection.
2 things, yes. That and a bag of tricks.
And how much gold would that total?
I can try to find how much you said the cloak was last time I got it.
Okay.
It might take me a hot second because I'm gonna have to do a lot of scrolling.
That's fine. You have 11 more minutes.
Wow. I'd like to buy a bag of beans.
A bag of beans.
Yes, it's kind of like a bag of tricks, but with beans.
What does it do?
Well, it says that it does a couple of things. So you have, the DM will have to roll a D100 every time I use it. But I can either dump the contents of the bag out on the ground, and they will explode in a 10-foot radius extending from the beans, and each creature will have to make a dexterity saving throw or take fire damage. Or I can remove a bean from the bag and plant it in the dirt, and if I do that, then you would roll the D100 and pick from the effects, which will then happen a minute later. So it's a good distraction piece. But I have to roll 3d4, and that's how many beans I get. So once they're gone, they're gone.
So you can essentially get 4 beans.
I could.
Well, let's see if they have this bag of beans. You're in luck. They do have a bag of beans.
All right.
What kind of item is it? Like, is it common?
It says rare.
All right. Oh, it's rare.
I mean, this is all depending. Yeah, I don't know how much the cost on the page says it could go anywhere from 500 to 5,000. So it really depends on how much it costs. But
all right. If it's gonna be rare, then I should have asked that first. They don't have a bag of beans.
all right, that's fine.
For those of you watching the Twitch,
Do they have a carpet of flying?
what's the rarity of it?
Very rare.
No, unfortunately, they do not have a copper of flying.
What about
Do they have bracers
bag
of
of holding?
defense?
Okay. Bag of holding. I heard that first. What's the rarity on that?
Uncommon.
Okay. They do have a bag of holding.
Okay. How much are bags of holding? Anyone?
It is uncommon. Let me go back to that page. Uncommon can range anywhere from 100 to 500 gold pieces.
Which it will.
I mean, your discretion doesn't pay for it.
Yeah, no, it would start off at 500, and then if you want to persuade them down, that would be that charisma check.
Discord's breaking up.
It will start at 500, and then if you wanted to use charisma to lower the price, then we'll go from there. So those you will have to haggle. Obviously, price-wise, you will have to haggle. Unless you're like, hey, I know you're selling this for 500. Would you do 415? 430 maybe? And then...
Okay.
Yeah, but if you're looking like, hey, you have a bag of holding, would you go with it for 375 and I will heal your sick? Something like that, then that would be that lovely charisma check to see if you can sway them to take that deal.
So I'll be like, okay, I see you got this bag of holding for 500. How about 400?
He looks up. He looks at you up and down. 430.
It's getting a little up there for a bag of holding. Let's try 415.
All right, 415.
Deal, my dude. Shake hands.
Alright. This dwarf was not very successful in his bargaining because I rolled a 7.
So I think I can't find it. However, I think the amount that I paid for the cloak of protection and this was for Thoro, my armor, which was I just had it. Starts with an A.
The A maintain?
It's the other one that starts with an A.
Alright, so
Yeah, no, adamantine. Yeah.
So for
It cuts. Yeah, that I believe I paid for both of those. I paid. I think it was 1,400 for.
okay. I can tell you right now, the armor wise, you're probably not going to get that armor. Since it's so much.
I'm not looking for that armor. I'm just saying that's what I paid in grand total, roughly, for both of those things for Thoro. That included the cloak of protection. So I don't know how you wanna.
What's the cloak of protection's rarity? Do we know?
Uncommon.
Uncommon, so that will start at 500 max.
Okay.
Yes.
So we'll do 500 max, and then depending on how you bargain, will depending on the price that you can lower it to.
And what was your bag of tricks?
I believe also uncommon.
So both items I'm looking for are classified as uncommon.
Okay. So you're most likely not gonna find the bag of tricks due to the nature of it, and these dwarves wouldn't have it. Nor do they would find it funny. But the cloak of protection you can find.
Woo.
Iris is gonna walk up to them and be like, "Is that a tattoo shop?"
One dwarf leans over. Yes.
Are they familiar with magical tattoos by chance?
Let's find out. Roll me a percentile. And I'm assuming you're getting this from a book I don't own.
It would be Tasha's.
Yeah, I do not own that book.
54.
I'm gonna say we can pause on that right now. Because I would like to actually read into it. But once I do, I will make it available for you. If I approve it. So no matter where we're at, I'll just have a random traveler going, "Hey, I heard you put in an order for this tattoo. I'm here to deliver."
Yeah, I mean, so if you want the specific one that I'm looking at, it's called the Masquerade Tattoo. It's a common item, but requires attunement.
Can you send it to me?
Yeah, I can send it to you.
Yeah, send me. Let me look it over.
Then you go look for that cloak.
Do you have a javelin of lightning?
Why do you want a javelin of lightning?
Because I want one.
What purpose would it serve Core?
Just relax.
Okay. What's the rarity?
Uncommon.
Okay. Send me what it does.
Okay.
How many potions of healing could I suss out in this city?
How many you want?
I'd like to have 4 of the uncommons, but that can get pricey, so that I might have to get some of the commons.
Give me a second. Okay. Okay, that's not that bad. So you getting it on your hand?
Huh?
This would be for Iris. Where exactly are you getting it? Oh, wait, that's not. Because I was looking at the item Iris, and so all it does is cast Disguise Self on you?
Yep.
Okay, and the spell Disguise Self, it doesn't actually transform you or anything, it just gives you bonuses on the deception? Or does it actually just...
You cut out.
Disguise Self, it just makes you look like someone else of your stature, correct?
Yeah, it just alters my appearance. It's not like I can turn into a changeling all of a sudden.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to, like, turn into a dwarf. You would just be a very tall dwarf if you wanted to pass off on one.
Correct.
Okay.
Like, I could change I could probably change the color of my skin, or, I could hide my horns, but that's...
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
I'm pretty sure that's the...
I'll go ahead and approve that, if you want.
Okay.
The base will be over one hand of third square quarter of the limb. Are you looking for common or uncommon?
Uncommon.
Okay, so yeah, we'll set it at, again, 500, and then you can go down from there with a haggle.
Or...
Each creature in the line, including, and the target must be. Oh my god. Takes down. Oh wow. Okay.
Will you let me have it?
So if I'm reading this correctly, the saving throw must be taken from the wielder and the person you hit with it.
I believe so.
Because it's each creature in a line, excluding you and the target. Wait, including, sorry. Not excluding, that's excluding. Must make a DC saving throw. But that makes no sense on why you would take it. That makes no sense why. Oh, okay. No, that makes sense then, because if you're doing it in a line, everyone in the line makes it except for you and the target, because you might not hit the target, it still goes into that line.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. And it's yeah, I'll go with it.
Dope.
We'll go with. So we do need some. If everyone is paying full price, it's just gonna be 500. If you're all haggling, it will go down. So right now, the things I've approved was what Senguine wanted, what Yeslie just texted me, the tattoo that Iris wants, and then the are you paying a full price for the cloak, Tetsu?
He's gonna try to barter.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
1 second, sorry, I was looking up something.
Okay, so actually, what are you gonna say?
Can I also try to barter?
Yeah, we'll go with Tetsu first, and then we'll go down the line with everyone else.
Well, I will look
Right, your bartering will come in the form of what you say as well, so make sure what you say
Oh no.
is good
Alright,
enough for
so-
your roll.
So wait, what am I doing? Sorry.
You're telling me what you're saying to barter, and then you're gonna roll a. I do believe it is. what is that skill? There's this actual skill, I think, that lets you bar.
Persuasion, I think, is what you're looking
Yeah,
for.
there you go. And
I think it's
persuasion.
Alright, so well, he's gonna look at the cloak and go, "This is a fine piece of work. I can tell that you've put your heart and soul into this." Afterwards, he's gonna kind of look at his old cloak that's kind of raggedy and torn up and go, "It'll be nice to have something that'll help keep me warm and safe throughout my travels. How much would you want for such a beautiful thing?"
Standard price is 500.
He's gonna kind of look over because again his cloak looks all raggedy and torn up. He's gonna look at it and go, "I don't know if I can really afford that. Would you be willing to go just a little less, maybe 400?"
Roll your persuasion.
Come on, baby. Plus persuasion, which is not all that high, but that's still gonna be a 19.
All right. He goes, well.
Wait, what?
He paused. He said, well, he does have a stack of gold in his hand, but he's using it as cards, just flipping through it.
Yeah.
Well, it says, he pretty much looks scrawny, weak, and pathetic. I can go for 450.
Tetsu kind of sighs because he's gonna kind of play into this, kind of that's gonna cost me just about everything that I've made on my last journey, and kind of pull it out and he's having trouble picking it up and just kind of set it there and kind of slide it across.
And then he'll toss in a little hand warmer for you. And you know what? I'll do you one better. If you just say the magic word, a symbol on your cloak will appear.
Wait, what?
A symbol on your cloak will appear if you want. If you want to represent your own clan, or if you want to represent my business, that can happen too.
A sponsorship.
He sits there and nods and goes, "I'd be willing."
Perfect. He's just gonna wave his hand, and as you kind of turn the cloak around, it's gonna be like a crow with an axe in his beak and a great axe in his talons.
Yeah.
And insert sponsorship name here.
Woot.
All right. So then we're gonna go with core.
And Peter, put me somewhere because I'd like to do stuff eventually. So
Yeah, we're gonna be after Beryl. All right, so Court.
Okay. She'll ask how much for the javelin.
500.
Would you be willing to part from it for 400?
Well, ma'am, I don't see why you need a walking stick, or mainly a twig. You're tall enough as it is. This toothpick won't do anything for you.
Well, this is not for me.
Who is it for? Your mother?
No, this is for someone that, in the hands of this person, your work and your masterpiece will be known to the world.
Are they my size? What are we talking about here? You're
No,
gigantic.
it's for that gentleman over there. And she'll point to Senguine.
Oh, you mean
But
my
kind
throw
of
rug?
discreetly. Huh?
You mean my throw rug?
Yeah, we don't want to be disrespectful.
That's not. That's literally what my throw rug is.
Move on from this point. This will be for that gentleman over there.
Well, he's tall as well, so I'm gonna have to increase the height of this.
I would like you if you could customize it for him.
Perfect then. 500.
Would you be willing to go down to 400?
I could, but it will give you disadvantage on your attack rolls because it'd be a small weapon
On my
compared to
what?
you guys.
Disadvantage on your roll.
On my roll?
It's not made for you. It's made for dwarves.
Yeah, but could you customize it for him?
Yeah, 500.
Good at this.
Roll that persuasion.
Look at my skills. So, character, view. You said persuasion?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, P-Pop, lick it. Hey. 16?
475.
Deal.
Alright. Come back in 2 hours. Alright. That it for Yeslie?
I do want to buy potions.
Alright, so we'll do potions at the very end if we can do it
Cool.
all together. Beryl. Sweet Beryl.
Gonna tell me they don't have my thing?
Well, I don't like the last part of it.
What?
I absolutely do
That's what
not
I
like
want.
the last part of that. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the number of the hit points you restore. So, from my perspective, it's whenever it's just for you.
Right.
So it's not going to be working on any of your spells. Nothing. Just you.
Just me. That way, the reason I want this is because if I can double my hit point capacity to be regained with this particular thing, then when I do my channel divinity, I don't have to put those 20 points towards me. So like this time, I was only able to do 3 people, and I had to be one of those people. So if I have this, then I won't need to be one of those people. Then I can take those 20 points and divide it between my group and not have to take any for myself.
Well, see, that's the thing. It says... So when you do your channel divinity, are you rolling the hit die?
No, but this will allow me to heal up myself when we take a rest.
Correct, but it wouldn't affect your channel divinity at all.
No, I'm just saying that my ability to do this to myself means that when I do my channel divinity, I don't have to use the points on me.
10 for... Okay then. Go ahead and roll your persuasion. And say what you're trying to say in order to get this person to drop down from 500 to what you want to barter with.
All right. I'm really looking at this periath of wound closure that you have, sir. Does it help anyone who is already passed out? Does it? Because as far as I know, that periaps of wound closure would only stabilize them. It wouldn't necessarily wake them back up, correct? So this item maybe doesn't do $500 worth of healing. Perhaps it only does about
Dollars?
425 coins, gold. Travis, get out of my head.
Oh, what do you want it for?
sorry, what was that?
What do you want it for?
$425.
$420.
$425 for a necklace that cannot wake me back up after I pass out, but is infinitely very pretty and has at least $400 worth of quality craftsmanship.
Gold.
Look, shut up.
What makes you what's the word I'm looking for? An appraiser.
Well, you see, my family does work in fine gems and minerals, and I am actually qualified to be appraising gems.
Well, I didn't ask you to appraise my stuff.
Oh no, but I am letting you know that that this fine quality gem and craftsmanship is worth at least $400. But seeing as it cannot actually bring someone back from being fainted, I'm not sure if it's worth that extra $75. I want to give you $425 if that's okay.
Well, let's see what your persuasion roll is.
All right.
It's really hard to talk like that sometimes.
You
All
choose
right.
the character.
That's going to be a dirty 20. 17 plus 3.
You know, since you look like a dwarf in need, I'm going to sell it to you for $475. And then I'm going to appraise your stuff.
Oh, for sure. Would you like to see some of mine?
No,
I start
5
pulling out little
gold.
gems.
5.
What?
5 gold. That's what I appraise your stuff as. 5 gold. I'm kidding, darling. Boy, am I.
All right.
Okay, God, that's really hard to talk. Keep it. Oh. She'll go down to $450 for you.
$450, I'll take it.
Okay.
It's fine. Before we move on to other things, this is not magical at all, but Beryl would like to find the nearest shop where she could replenish her stock of gems and stones and her tea supplies, specifically long petals, because she still wants to work on her bloom and teas.
Is long petals a rare thing, or is it common?
I mean, as teas go, it just depends on what flower you pick. I don't think it's rare.
So you're probably not gonna find any like tea-ish in here. If they are, they're gonna be saved for like nobles or anything like of that nature, or they're gonna be really expensive. Because it's really hard to grow flowers inside of a mountain.
Well, Beryl will take any tea she finds. I guess she will hold off on blooming tea, but she's gonna need to refill her tea supplies regardless. And I need to buy a pack of sugar so that I can form some more rock candy.
Okay, well that the sugar and whatnot would be fine. The flowers would be a little bit more.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
The sugar and whatnot, the mundane stuff, is fine. It's just the flowers and everything gonna be much harder to acquire.
Alright. Well, I mean, the flowers were just if I could. If I can't find them, that's fine. How much would you want me to take off for the sugar and the tea supplies and the...
I will leave it to your best judgment.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed.
Alright, and Talbot?
General stuff before the spells. I just need a 50-foot rope.
That's easy.
Yep, which is 1 gold. And then end of day when From comes back, I have 2 spells that I would like to get.
Alright, what spells are those? Do you want to send it to me in a message, or do you want to say it out loud?
The first one is Alarm. It is a 1st level spell.
Okay. What's the second?
Blur. It's a second level spell.
And what does blur do?
Your body becomes blurred, shifting and wavering to all who can see you. For the duration, any creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against you. An attacker is immune to this effect if it doesn't rely on sight, as with blind sight, or can see through illusions, as with true sight.
Alright, is there a DC to get around it?
No.
Okay, so it's just automatic disadvantage.
Yes, unless the creature doesn't rely on sight or can see through illusions.
10-4. And both of those uncommon, common... How does it work for scrolls?
One is a common, one is an uncommon, and from what I was looking at as far as prices, the uncommon would range anywhere from 101 gold to 500 gold, and the other one would range from... Give me a second while I pull this up.
No problem.
50 to 100 gold.
Alright, and what are you trying to get total for the both of them?
Well, it's... So the total would be 600. Is that what From would say they could do it at, or what does From say how much it would cost?
Blur he'll probably keep at the max price, since it's a very good spell to give out. And the other one he can probably sell it for, because it's just an alarm spell. He could probably just sell that for 25.
Done. So I give him 625.
Okay.
The extra 100 is to also get the arcane paper and ink that is required for me to put this into my spell book.
Sounds good to me. Is that everyone? So everyone either A, paid full price, or B, haggled it down a little bit.
Say I didn't get the chance to haggle.
That's true. Okay. You didn't subtract anything from you, right?
What?
You didn't subtract anything, any of your gold?
No, I haven't done anything yet.
Alright, so go ahead. What you haggle, again, what do you say to persuade a person to lower the price, since the price will be at a 500 mark? Because I think that's the one you're going for, yeah.
The tattoo, yeah.
Yeah, so what is your line?
How fond are you of exotic drinks?
Darling, I'm an alcoholic.
I guarantee I have one you've never tasted before.
Well, I haven't had tiefling before, so...
Not what I meant.
Oh, sorry.
What I meant was an actual alcohol.
Oh, what you got? You got a sample? You got a little tasty taste?
Yeah, I can give you a sample.
Good, I'm
She's
quite
gonna pull
parched.
out just her like straight up flask of nectar and a little cup, and she'll pour a little bit in there and she'll just hand it over to him.
You can just see he just puts the whole cup in his mouth. Mmm.
What do you taste out of curiosity?
Mother's love and victory.
Interesting. Most people just taste like their favorite food item, but that's an interesting one.
Well, it probably doesn't help that I'm 99% drunk at the current moment.
That cut out, and I can only imagine what you were saying.
I said it doesn't help that I'm 99% drunk at the current moment.
Ah.
That was not the word I thought was the blank.
Yeah, same.
Wait, what word?
Starts with an H.
I'm 99%.
Hey, Senguine got it.
Hey.
I'm so sorry. Don't mean to intrude.
Iris is gonna be like, I'd be willing to part with about half of my current flask. If you reduce the price of my tattoo to say $350.
Roll it.
Percentile?
Your persuasion.
Oh, persuasion. Okay.
Yeah.
The
The
thing,
bard who
the
has
thing that you're actually good at.
Right?
not wrong there.
I was like, I hope the bard outbeats me in this. If not, this drunken fool's gonna make out with plenty of gold.
A lucky point. Yep, okay, cool. It's gonna be a total of 28.
Okay, I just want to know, what was your first roll?
4.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you did that because I rolled a 9.
Oh my god. Well, my second roll was a 17, so.
So everyone else got like high numbers, and then when I rolled for you, it was a 9. I was like, okay, great. I'm hoping Iris can beat this. Nope. Yeah, he'll go for that with half of your nectar.
You cut out.
So it's $350, I think you said,
Yes,
with half of your supply of nectar.
correct.
He will agree to that deal.
Perfect.
And look at all this. Everyone's getting discounts and Groupons.
Sponsorships. Your boy's making money now.
Meanwhile, I'm getting a bunch of paper.
You bought paper. All right. So I do believe that is everyone now.
I mean, I also bought tea.
Oh yeah, you bought something. I do believe that's everyone. Senguine, did you want to buy something?
I already bought my stuff.
What was your
I
stuff?
bought a bag of holding.
Oh yes, that's right. So now for the potion part. What? Oh, Tetsu.
I was telling her, because she's got the bag of holding, that we should probably sell our stuff while we're here that we got from that giant ass raid for the Ether Heart, because we've got a frick load of supplies.
And also all of the loot that May gave Core before he left the party.
Yeah.
Alright, so
Because his basic weapons and stuff.
basic weapons and stuff will be sold at half price, unless you can convince them to buy, depending on what it is, because right now you're selling him, or any of those people here, orc weapons, orc-sized stuff, goblin-sized stuff that they're not going to really need, so they were smelted for supplies, but they're not going to get the greatest worth out of it. So what is a total that you guys are thinking of getting for all these weapons, armors, and knickknacks?
So I have the list of what we have, if everyone wants to listen and kind of chip in as to what they think at the very end. From the cultists, we have 6 daggers and 6 leather armors. From the orcs, we have 6 great axes, 12 javelins, 2 long swords, and 6 hide armor. From the goblins, we have 5 short bows, 5 sets of leather armor, 5 shields, and 5 scimitars. And then we also have the stuff from the dragon guy, which was the which Senguine claimed, I think, a majority of this, if I was correct.
Yeah, it's because that's going to make Senguine basically a god. So.
I think the only things were the rings, which I believe I said that I was like, hey, if I could, because one of them did something that I was like, I like that, but I can't remember what I just wrote down. One was deflect magic missile. Oh, there it is. +2 to strength. I did write it down. Other than that, though, we have all that stuff to sell.
Okay.
I'm just saying that +2 to strength will look real good on Senguine as well.
Senguine's already got like a +42 to strength. Shut up.
Both of those rings belong to the Black Draconic Dragon mode, so you have to be evil and or draconic in order to wear them. Unless we
Just saying that puts Senguine at a score of 22 for strength.
I don't think the DM will allow it.
I would say 60 for the basics.
Would it be? I know you said that the fact that they wouldn't be able to use them as is would make them less valuable. Would it be possible for us to take the better kept weapons? Is there a place of enchantment that might be willing to buy weapons ready for enchanting, where we could get full price for the weapons?
You're also giving dwarves, goblins, and orc stuff.
Well,
So,
right, but like the daggers and stuff.
You can still hold off. Yeah, I'm just saying, it's taking up room in a bag of holding.
Yeah.
I mean, the daggers might be nice, but at the same time, they're daggers. These dwarves, you guys can tell by just shopping around, they're very prideful in what they make. Anything else is just gonna smit down for supplies.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They would just melt the metal and then either recreate from that whatever they wanted, or do something else with it.
You gonna go for 60, Travis? Or Talbot?
Why don't we go for 70? That way it evenly divides between the 7 of us.
Who wants to do...
This was Travis throwing out an estimate. Talbot doesn't have any idea. But Travis was pitching for 60. We could pitch for 70.
Who
Well,
wants
Travis
to
has the best idea of what all these things are worth. So
Yeah, exactly.
I don't normally purchase weapons. I mostly purchase paper and ink.
Okay, well, who wants to roll the persuasion check for this?
Iris does.
Okay.
Senguine is also willing.
Can we tag team?
Now, remember what happened the last?
Wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, we can recreate that moment. There is an inn.
Need a halfling to throw knives at something that explodes while we're in a tavern.
I mean, yeah, if you want to assist, so whoever does the persuasion check will get advantage on it.
You cut out.
Whoever does the persuasion check will have advantage on it, but only one of you guys will roll.
Sarah, what's your persuasion?
+11.
Yeah, it's you.
So I get an assist from you?
Yes.
He's basically being your hype man.
Finally.
I mean, he was much more at one point.
Hype. I got a 9. Well, a dirty 19. Well, no, and it was I rolled a 19. What I got was a 30.
Okay. So we'll say that you're bargaining with the guy who's doing your tattoo and everything, and then Senguine just comes up and hypes you just beautifully. And the dwarf is just like, you know what? That sounds good. 70, I'll take 70.
Cool.
We did it.
Yeah.
Yay.
So he would take that stuff off your hands, give you 70 gold. So everyone gets 10 gold from that. We'll go ahead, at that point, go to the potions. Who wants to buy potions?
Me.
I also forgot I need to buy winter's clothing, but it can wait.
You can just go ahead and buy that, Travis. Alright, now what kind of potions are you wanting to buy? Those things are expensive.
How much is a potion of greater healing?
That's a good question. Let's find out. As in, someone could probably find out a lot quicker than I can.
I look.
Sorry, I was muted. Greater healing is an uncommon item, so it's going to fall into the 500 point range.
500.
Yeah, Peter's been following the upper levels of it, so yeah, it's going to land under the 500 or greater.
Unless you guys can barter.
Yeah. How many do you think we could find?
Well, how many do you want? I would like to know how many you all want, and we'll go from there.
Well, okay, well, I wanted to try as a group to have at least 4. I think that'd be a good, I don't know how many everybody has left, but I've only got 1 left. So as a group, how many do you guys have?
I have 0.
2, 0, 0.
Give me a second. I think I have 1 more. I have 1 more.
Okay, so between the groups, we have 4. It's 2 for Iris, 1 for me, 1 for Core. So bargaining, you usually get, less prices. The more you buy, the cheaper you can get them. So I'd like to try and see how many we can get. I don't know how much gold everybody has left for their divisioning. If everybody's willing to give up 100, we could probably get, with my money, if everyone's able to lend me 100, we can get 2 graders and possibly 2 commons.
I'm willing to do that.
Same. So you got Senguine and Core.
Iris will do it.
Let's see here. Numbers up.
What about Talbot and Tetsu? Are they going to lend 100?
Currently calculating. 4 moments.
Okay.
And I'm currently not at the potion shop.
This is just out of game stuff.
out of game, and you're asking for 100 to get graders.
Yeah.
2 graders and 2 commons.
Well, yeah. I'm hoping to be able to bring it down a little bit, but yeah. Or is Leander also going to give 100?
Sure.
Okay.
Leander is kidnapped, right?
No, we got him back at the boss battle.
Oh, okay.
Leander will be playing next week.
Okay.
Talbot will give 100.
Okay.
Same.
All right. Now, who is doing the bartering for this?
Beryl is going to tag team and bring Iris with her.
All right. So Beryl's gonna do the bartering.
No, Iris is going to do the... So Beryl says, we need to get healing potions for the group. Iris, will you mind coming with me? Because you have a more glib tongue than I do.
Yeah, she does.
Iris is just gonna ignore Senguine's comment.
Tetsu's gonna high five Senguine. Is that not what I'm supposed to be doing?
This is weird. Okay. She'll be like, yeah, okay.
All right, delightful. So I have managed to acquire $600 or 600 gold from the group, which with the remainder of my money will give me just over 1,200 gold. Now that's enough at full price to get 2 greater and 2 common healing potions. I'd like to see if we can bring it down a little bit because I'd like to not be completely broke, 0 gold. But if we can't get it down, that's okay. But I would much prefer it if we could.
I think there's a way.
So we will head off to whatever potions place we can get.
All right. So as you reach the potion place, a dwarven priest comes out and goes, "Hello, how may I help you?"
Oh, hi. We are looking for some assistance in locating some healing potions.
I can provide for the right price.
Well, we'll be in need of at least 2 greater and 2 common.
Okay, and what is your budget?
Iris, what is our budget?
$800.
Okay. Are you gonna try to say anything to get the father to lower his price, or are you just gonna say 800 persuasion?
Don't really have anything a priest would want. Unless he is also
Damn, if only we had
a fan
May
of
I.
alcohol.
I mean, he is a dwarf. I don't think being part of the priesthood keeps you from imbibing to a point.
Love it.
Iris is just gonna look at the priest and be like, do you need any new communal spirits for your services?
What do you mean by communal spirits?
I don't know. You guys, I'm not 100% familiar with your religion, your practices, but if...
Is this a priestess of Moradin?
It is.
There's nothing against their religion on drinking.
What?
Nothing in their religion against drinking.
Okay. I don't know if y'all are interested in maybe having something new to pass out instead of your usual ale.
What do you
Something
have
a
in
little
mind?
bit more exciting.
Like?
I have a one-of-a-kind alcohol that I have made myself.
Interesting. I don't know how my followers or the people who come to church would feel about partaking in a alcoholic beverage not provided by our Lord and Savior.
Well,
Well,
then maybe
actually,
for your private
it's-
stash.
I mean, as a follower of Morden, the father of creation, looking upon a new creation such as his alcohol should be an honor for them. Being that the Father does expect us to create. He does set that as part of our morals, is that we are to better the world. And what better way to better the world than coming up with a new alcoholic beverage of which to enjoy and then sharing it
Correct.
with his children.
We come up with it, not any outsider.
There are no rules that I'm aware of that keep us from enjoying the efforts of others.
Correct.
The effort of creation is shared by all.
We can enjoy alcohol of others, but I will not serve an alcohol to my fellow patrons that are not made by a dwarf.
You would deny them the joys of the creation of this delicious beverage.
If they want to go out and seek this lovely lady and partake in her beverage, by all means, but I will not serve it at my church.
He called her lovely. Use your feminine wares.
Again, I will say, I'll again be like, well, it could be for your private stash then.
I too,
Doesn't have
unfortunately,
to
will
be.
not drink anything not made by a dwarf.
He wants that ass.
It's gonna be another Clyde
Dang.
situation.
So disrespectful. Perhaps could I interest you in something made by a dwarf?
Like,
Is there perhaps a missus in your life that you would like to show appreciation for?
unfortunately, there is not. My work,
Beryl's doing your job, Iris.
my work has kept me from seeking that of love.
Well, this need not be romantic love. Do you not have a mother you wish to know, that you wish to let her know that you love her?
Luckily for me, my mother has died in a glorious battle against filthy orcs.
That is sad to hear, but thankfully she died a good death.
Oh, the best
Something
one
to
yet.
be honored of.
Have you ever seen a dwarf with an axe for a cane? It's quite a sight.
Perhaps in her memory, you might give a fellow follower of Morden who has been traveling the world, creating a better world for dwarves to live in, a small discount on healing potions. We are but a poor traveling group of adventurers, and we haven't gold for full price potions, but I would like to continue making good in the world, but my friends and I get into several scrapes. Healing potions are a must, unfortunately.
Well, if you, like you said, are adventurers, gold comes easily to adventurers, and quite in large amounts. So this will just be a minor setback.
Gold does come easily to most adventurers, but we are set about making the world a better place, which means we do not happen to charge as much as other parties, meaning our purses are a little lighter more often than not. We seek to do good, not for our own gain.
Do you... Do you plan on turning everyone into a dwarf? Or expanding this mountain for us as a greater good? Because right now the world outside is just full of chaos and disarray.
Sorry, Peter, I'm not getting any of this.
He's gonna say, for the better good of us dwarves, would be having everyone become a dwarf, or having them follow our religion. And from the looks of it, you can simply cast healing spells.
I'm getting most of what you're saying, so I think what you said was that I have healing spells, so I shouldn't need healing potions.
Yeah.
Well, I do what I can, but sometimes my spells are needed for more offensive purposes. These are a last-ditch resort. Brink of death. It's helpful to have them. I would not be a proper healer if I went into my adventures believing myself so powerful to not need them. I'm trying to be humble in that way.
Well, then you wouldn't mind paying the price? Because the church can always use an extra bit of gold.
I'm not going to keep going around in circles with him. If he's not going to lower it, then we're not going to.
You can go ahead and roll your
I will just
persuasion.
be goldless.
If you want to roll your persuasion check, you can go ahead and do it.
What will it take to have you lower the price? Since you seem you don't seem interested in anything we are offering right now. What would be beneficial for you?
Sorry, I was reading Kyle's thing. Well, you can easily convert to the one in the only Morden, follow his tenets, or make a luxurious donation to the church. Or you can wear one of our tabards out and spread the good word of Morden and how we have the finest wares in the land.
Are you needing more than one of us to do that? Because I'm already a follower of Morden. I already tell people the joys of Morden. I already wear Morden's symbol.
Well, as a dwarf should. But if that's the case, if your adventure party is not all converted over to Morden, then you might need to do work just a tad bit harder to convince them to switch over.
Wasn't aware that our following was so merciful.
Well, very stubborn when it comes to our ways.
Well, Iris, I will not force my religion upon you. We might just have to retrieve some more gold elsewhere and try again.
Is there any way it could be reduced, not to 800, but to 1,000?
What do you have in mind?
You didn't even have his hammer.
Well, you gave me something. What did you give me of his?
Nothing. Shame. Special place. Hell for you.
What is this? There we go. Now we can see Yeslie. Look at that face. We can't see Travis.
I can't see Yeslie either.
So
You can't see me at all?
Well, no, like your camera's off. I can see that you're in the lobby.
What now?
That's where we all can see her, I think.
Peter, as a DM question, is Moradin the only god that is worshipped in this city?
You can investigate.
I'd like to see if I can find any temples to Baron True Silver. It's Moradin's female patriot.
Okay. So you guys gonna leave this church and try out for another?
If it's all right with Iris, I think maybe I'll just be like, perhaps we will have better luck elsewhere in the city, Iris. This gentleman is mayhap not willing to come down too much, and our purse is small.
Sounds good to me.
All right, and I would like to look for the Temple of the True Silver, because she is a goddess of earth and home, and she's of the life domain, so she's more interested in preserving life than she is of creating.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
Investigation. It's gonna be just a regular 18 because I don't have any pluses to that.
Okay. You eventually find one.
Alright. I'd like to have a very similar conversation with whoever I find there about trying to get healing potions.
Oh, I see. Well, simplest thing to solve everyone's solution. Just live in the city and quit being adventurers.
I think that's a wrap on the potions.
Yeah.
You can roll a persuasion check.
I try so hard, guys.
I'm just gonna add that money back.
No, I'm gonna buy the stupid things. I gotta buy them full price. We need the potions. I just didn't want to have 0 gold. You know what I mean? You guys are all giving up 100. I'm giving up 600. All right. Well, if I can't get a better price, I will roll the persuasion.
I mean, we've got 3 people who heal in the party, so.
And yet, we've had someone pass out every time, and I can't. Like my big healing pills take 10 minutes. How many times have we not been able to rest?
That's saying something about Talbot.
Let's see. I'm doing persuasion.
Yep.
That's only a +1, so 19.
19. She'll go down 200, so she'll say 1,000.
I will take it.
All right. All right, so we'll go ahead. So that'll end the potions. We'll get back to kind of the main storyline before we wrap up. So everyone will come back to the inn, and From will return, and we'll go, well, I can't see 2 of you. Wonder where you went. There's one. Where did that blue lady go? Oh, there you are. Oh. I am back. And you all look very spiffy. And have a nice new javelin.
Thank you. It shocks people. Cole gave it to me. She's pretty cool.
Oh, I was gonna give it to him once everyone gave it to.
I don't have it yet, but it's pretty cool that Cora has a cool javelin, right?
Oh yes, yes. It's quite long. I guess you had it modified. Well, all your Irenes are charged. Go ahead and take those back.
She'll take hers. Cora will take hers.
I'm waiting for everyone else to take theirs. If not, then...
Sorry, I'm adding healing potions to my thing, but I will also take my eye ring.
Oh, yeah, I'll
waiting to
take
see
mine
if
back.
you were gonna say anything else after that, so.
Talbot, do you take yours?
I already got mine because it was done that quickly.
Oh yeah, you were there the whole time. Did you look at the device at all?
From what you had said, I had put it on there. They did a hand motion, and then they handed it back to me and said, just give it an hour.
Oh, sorry, it had to stay on the thing for an hour. My apologies on
Yeah,
that.
you didn't say that at all.
My bad. Well, you will say you were there first, so you probably took yours off first, so either way, you'll be good to go.
Then yeah, I get mine back.
Okay, cool. He will grab his thing, like, well, are we going to... Oh, nice tattoo. Are we deciding to stay here a bit longer, or are we going somewhere else? I just want to make sure that we stay, that the plan was the same since the last time I saw you guys a couple of hours ago.
What time of day is it?
It is Mountain O'Clock.
I knew that was coming.
What did he say?
Mountain O'Clock.
Is it dark out?
Yes.
It's
A
mountain.
better question would be, how many hours has it been since we awoke?
Oh, it's been 6.
So it's probably only about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Did we want to stay one more day here or move on?
Well, I'm still waiting on the stuff from you from.
Well,
I'll need the night to put these in my book. So maybe tomorrow, if we're wanting to get a head start.
Then that shall be the plan. We should rest up, gather our thoughts, and prepare for our journey for tomorrow, and stay here for one more night.
sounds good. Like always, just behave. Don't cause any trouble. I will bring your carriage to you at first light, or I guess in your morning. And I'll see you off. And at that point, we'll say our goodbyes then. Unfortunately, the dwarves will no longer go to the outside world until this war is over, unless it's deemed necessary. So we will stop most of our trades unless the trade is absolutely necessary. Then we'll keep it going. Other than that, this city will probably most likely be on lockdown. So if you do decide to come your way back, just make sure you contact me beforehand.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Well, I bid you all adieu. Adieu to you, to you, to you, to you, to you, and to you.
And adieu to you as well.
Too kind. And From leaves.
Awesome. Beryl's going to make sure that anyone who didn't have a healing potion is now in possession of at least one of the common ones. So, Senguine and Tetsu, I believe, didn't have anything. Cool. So you guys each have a common now.
Talbot,
Talbot, did you have a healing potion?
No.
No? All right. Talbot, you'll get the crater. Or you don't want it?
Oh no, I was just saying I don't have one.
Oh, okay. Well, I would hand you a potion as well. So everybody has at least one now. Iris has 2, and I still have 2. But everybody has 1.
Well, thank you. That is very generous.
All right.
Okay, awesome. So, during this day, did anyone else want to do anything before we wrap up?
Cora will pull Senguine off to the side.
Okay.
To him. So she'll call him over and say, Senguine, come over here.
What's up, Cora?
So I got you a little gift, and it's on her back, but it's wrapped up.
Ooh, is it that thing on your back?
Now, I know we haven't known each other for very, very long, but you are a very valued member of our party, and I know that you don't necessarily need it, but I know that you don't have your magical powers at the current moment. So I wanted to get you a little thing as a little protection from me. May your God and Sylvanas' light guide you and protect you throughout whatever you do. So this is for you. And she'll hand it to him.
And I open it and freak the fuck out.
Oh,
this is so cool.
I wanted to ask it, like the dwarf if he could make like a couple modifications where it has like kind of not like kind of like an embroidery type thing etched into it, so it'll have like leaves around it.
Ooh,
but
like
it's
a filigree?
Kind of.
Okay.
So it'll still have the shape of what I sent you, but it'll have etching marks of like leaves and stuff like that to signify her god, but also for herself.
Oh, nice. Oh, this reminds you of you. This is awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I don't know exactly what everything does. He told me a little bit, but we'll talk about that. I'm pretty sure you'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure we will. It'll be dope. Whatever it is, it's sharp, pointy, and cool.
I saw it and I thought of you because like lightning and like.
Yes, that's my breath weapon. Oh, it's so cool.
So I mean, it's a little thing from me to you, just to protect you.
I love it.
In our travels.
Senguine's magical items came from this to now this. Y'all need to stop pumping this man up. I need to stop him somehow.
Pump him up even more.
Stop it. Okay, well that's gonna.
You're the reason why.
We have to make sure we protect our dragon baby since you took all his magic away.
We're not gonna go into that right now. Did anyone else want to do anything before you rest and whatnot? Talbot.
Talbot is just going to take the 4 hours to put those spells into the spell book.
Okay. Anyone else?
I want to talk with Iris a little bit. I want to talk with her about her processes for creating liquor and perhaps the hope of working with her to distill a liquor version of like a herbal tea. That's not making it to taste great. I want to be an herbal tea, and I want it to be alcoholic.
So we talking like a spiked Arnie Palmer here.
Kinda.
Well, that can be done off screen.
Well, I just say that's a conversation I want to have while we're in the tavern, like
Perfect.
Discussing to do that.
I like it. Okay, so as always, that will wrap up our session for our Dungeons and Dragons game, The Path of Two. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching. As always, I'm your friendly neighbor Herd, Dungeon Master Peter. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment below, let us know what adventures or monsters they should fight. And this year, for every 50, we get either on our subscribers on YouTube or our Facebook page, we'll do a little giveaway or / gift to our players or fans. And, we'll just keep upping it every 50. And maybe even give some goodies to the actual characters in the game. That would give you guys a little bit of incentive to invite your friends, talk about it, like your family members if they like D&D. And as always, check out Eli's Just Two Fans podcast. Always go ahead and put that link down below. But until next time, be safe, be worried, and use what your mama gave you to get the things you need in life. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.